Captain, first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the RDS for giving RNU Scotland this platform to state their position with regards to the issue of Scottish independence. And we send a message to all freedom-loving nations that they too are successful in their goals of achieving national sovereignty. Towards the end of 2012, the British Prime Minister David Cameron and Scottish First Minister Alex Salmond met and in front of the world's media held an agreement which allows the people of Scotland to determine their own future, knowing full well by the end of 2014 David Cameron could well be the last ever Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, or Alex Salmond the first leader of a truly independent Scottish family. Comrades, I use the word truly independent advisedly, and I urge caution at this point. We in RNU Scotland choose not to wrap ourselves in the saltire or reinvent ourselves as patriotic Scotsmen. What we hope for is the beginning of an institution that promotes equality in all its forms, eradicating colonialism, capitalism and imperialism. This would then beg the question, why urge caution? Does substituting the governance of Scotland with Scottish capitalists as opposed to English capitalists really address the national question back home in Scotland? As James Connolly was only too eloquent to point out in relation to the question of national sovereignty here in Ireland, that if you remove the English army tomorrow and hoist the green flag over Dublin Castle, unless you set about the organisation of the Socialist Republic, your efforts would be in vain. England would still rule you. She would rule you through her capitalists, through her landlords, through her array of financiers, through the whole array of commercial and individualist institutions she has planted in this country and watered with the tears of their mothers and the blood of their martyrs. If truth be told then, we in RNU Scotland see the establishment of a Scottish Socialist Republic as the only true alternative to what is on offer from the current debate taking place in both Scottish and Westminster Parliaments today. If the Yes campaign is successful, what would change? Betty Windsor would still be the sovereign head of state. The Bank of England would still rule our economy, in effect providing the capitalists the ability to shape a society where only the wealthy and powerful have the ability to prosper in these times of austerity, and help to maintain the class system so carefully nurtured by successive Westminster governments. The issue of Scottish independence poses more questions than it does provide answers, and it is our view in RNU Scotland that what we have on offer here is nothing more than the desire to go alone, and again in this we urge caution. Comrades, as you are only too aware what history tells us, and we need look no further afield in these 32 counties, that the formation of a truly independent nation is fraught with difficulty. I need not remind you then that in Ireland's own pursuit of sovereignty, it led to dominion states within the British Empire through the establishment of a free state, and with that the freedom to achieve freedom and ultimately the partition of this great nation. For us in RNU Scotland, this poses a difficulty. Do we accept the half-loafer mentality and settle for the freedom to achieve freedom in pursuit of the establishment of a Scottish Socialist Republic? Comrades, the answer to that is we are firmly behind the Yes campaign in Scotland. To achieve our goal of a Scottish Socialist Republic, we feel that the break-up of the United Kingdom is a necessary step in the right direction, but has many pitfalls. At present, we have enough natural resources to successfully fund a successful future for an independent Scotland, where all of Scottish society benefits, but at present the main beneficiaries are the corporate business and political classes who get rich from this through the exploitation of their most marketable commodity, the workforce. In Scotland we have a society not too dissimilar to that which inhabits the north of Ireland today, due in part to the large influx of Irish immigrants which helped change the social and cultural landscape of Scotland irrevocably. With this came a legacy of division which manifested itself through sectarianism and racism, and pushed forward a system whereby the working class were destined to be split through the medium of national identity and allegiance to the crown, and were unable, even during times of great financial hardship for the Scottish labour market, to unite fully with each other. It is at this time then that the sense of Britishness among the indigenous Scots, through the medium of Orangeism, helped to further drive a wedge between the unity of the working class, and many within the Scottish Orange Lodges and working class carefully manipulated this mindset and began voting for the main Unionist party, the Tories, as Irish voters favoured the Labour Party due to their socialist principles at this time. It could be said then that this was prominent in changing the mindset of Scottish society in relation to independence. Fast forward then to the Gordon Brown government and picture the scene of the then Scottish Prime Minister taking to the rostrum at the British Labour Party conference against a backdrop of a Union Jack proudly flying amidst the slogan, "British jobs for British people." Long gone then are the guardians of working class unity in favour of British nationalism. I'm glad to say then that at present the Tories in Scotland are few and far between, but nevertheless Unionism is alive and well. When it comes to the time of Westminster elections, the Labour Party in Scotland becomes a force to be reckoned with and command a high vote from within the Orange community, due mostly in part to them now being the most prominent advocates of unionism within Scotland. In September 2010, according to the number of ballot papers issued during the Labour Party leadership election, it emerged that the party had 13,135 members in Scotland. Compare this then to the membership of the Orange Order in Scotland, which currently sits at an estimated figure of some 50,000 and provide the No campaign with some much needed support. In 2011, Jack Ramsay, the Grand Secretary of the Orange Lodge of Scotland, stated during a taped interview with a broadsheet journalist that his organisation could not rule out recourse to arms to preserve its Britishness. If the Scottish Nationalist Party ever won a mandate for independence in Scotland, he declared that this would become a rallying point for those bitterly opposed to independence, stating when challenged by a journalist, if we were prescribed we would go underground and that what goes underground resurfaces, further stating that if you prescribe an organisation you strengthen it. So, comrades, could it then be said that the most influential body within the No Vote campaign would well turn out to be the Orange Order? Sadly, we in RNU Scotland fear this may well be the case. Whilst the battle will rage in the coming months and the great and good pontificate on the merits of the best way forward for Scottish society, it is relevant then to point out that a people ignorant of its past cannot understand the present or plan for the future. So, comrades, to clarify, we in RNU Scotland declare that yes, we will back Scottish independence and fully support this campaign in pursuit of our true goal of a Scottish Socialist Republic. However, we are mindful of the fact that along the way we will encounter some strange bedfellows on our journey. So to them we say, enjoy the ride, because once we achieve independence, that is when our journey will start in earnest. So, I'll finish with the words of the great Scottish socialist revolutionary John Maclean, who was a contemporary of James Connolly. Scotland must again have independence. The country must have one clan, as it were, a united people working